Happy Independence Day. It's Maria Robinson. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up here in the United States. So today is Independence Day and I want to wish all of you a happy 4th of July in the United States. Of course, if you live outside of the United States, you don't celebrate on the 4th. I'm sure you celebrate other days. So today's video is going to be a very quick and easy card, and I mean that. I know sometimes I say it and then I veer off. This one truly is a quick and easy card. I'm using one stamp set and one designer series paper. So very easy, and it could be adapted to anything that you have on hand. You don't have to use what I'm using. Of course, if you'd like to make the same card, you can. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator in the United States and are looking to work with somebody, I'd be happy to earn your business. So let me turn the camera down and we'll get started. The first thing I want to tell you about is the new online exclusives. So as you know, Stampin' Up started doing these online exclusives last year. What does that mean? It means that certain products you are only able to purchase online. They won't be in any catalog. And when they sell out, they sell out. So it's a good idea if you see anything you like that you get it sooner rather than later. Now, if you like, you can screenshot this QR code that will take you directly to the Stampin' Up website. Just be sure to enter me as your demonstrator if you're not working with anybody else. Secondly, we have bonus days starting on Thursday, July 6th, and they run through the whole month of July. You earn them in July, and then you could redeem them in August. So you know what Kohl's Cash is, where you earn $10 for every $50 that you spend? It's very similar to that, except ours for Stampin' Up runs the whole month. So how cool is that? Just be sure when you're ordering with me that you use the host code so that I can also send you a gift for your order. And the host code can be found in the description, which is below the video. So as I mentioned, the card that we're going to be creating today is this one. Super easy, right? Nothing complicated or anything. One stamp set and one piece of designer series paper. You probably won't be using the whole piece though for this card. So very simple, very basic. So for this I used Lost Lagoon as the backdrop, the card base, and then I used Calypso Coral for the ink. So I'm going to keep that aside. So let's get started. I have one piece of Pool Party, and we're going to cut this down, say 8.5 by 5.5. So I'm just going to put this in my trimmer, and I'm going to cut it in half on the long side at 5.5. So set that aside. We'll keep that for another card. And then I want to navigate my cutting blade out of the way so we don't cut again. And I'm going to score this at 4 1/4 inches. Blade is out of the way and we score. All right, so that is that easy. Now for my designer series paper, this will be my base, and this piece is going to be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So if your piece is directional, you definitely want to make sure that it's not going, you know, upside down or anything. I mean, I think this kind of is going like on an angle, so I'm going to cut it this way. We'll do this as the long, and this will be the short. So again, this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Have that one piece there. I'm saving this because I will use this for the inside. And then by 4 1/8. And this will be for the outside piece that we'll use like so on the basic white. Well, you know, I was going to use this piece. I think I'm going to stick with using my original plan, which was using this. So I'm going to cut another piece. This piece, which is the piece down here, measures, I think it's 1 1/8. Yes, 1 1/8 by 3 3/8. So 1 1/8. By 3 3/8. 3 and then 3/8 is between 3 3/8 is between 3 1/4 and 4 1/2. And I did that wrong, didn't I? See, I can't talk and work at the same time. So scrap that. 1 1/8. This can't be right. What did I do here? Let's see. That can't be right. I have my measurements wrong here. This needs to be, let's see, the same size as the basic white, which is 4 1/2. So this piece should be 1 1/8 by 4 1/2 inches. So I apologize. I wrote my measurements down, but I didn't write them correctly. There we go. All right, so that's the piece that we need. Now you see how this happens sometimes? You get these little fragments here. Just take, I probably have to change my blade, but if you take a file, you know, your basic nail file, and just file them down, you'll get rid of those little pieces. Like so. And lastly, we need our basic white, which is cut at, let's try to get this right. I'm going to do the inside piece first. So 4 inches. That aside, by 5 1/4. This is the inside piece. That will be for the inside, and then the outside piece needs to be, let's do this correctly, 3 3/8 by 4 1/2. So 3 3/8, 4 1/2. All right, so this is 4 1/2 by 3 3/8. And see that I have some paper stuck in my track here. When I get these little papers in here stuck in my track, I just run a piece of cardstock down that track and I pop them right out. This is much better than running something sharp in here, because if you run something sharp through there, you run the risk of damaging the track, and then you'll have these jagged edges on the track, and you don't want that. So I find it's best just to run the, you know, scrap piece of cardstock through there. All right, now we have all our cutting done. I can set this aside. Let me set all these extra pieces aside so I don't get them confused with the pieces that I do need. All right, so that's that. So we have our card base. Again, this is, that's the extra piece.
The card base measures 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. We have our designer series paper, which is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. There'll just be a little border around. See, I need to do the same thing with this piece. I need to file it. It just seems to happen with my designer series paper, which is thinner, and I think that's what the reasoning is. That's not a problem. Just run that along the edge and clean it up a little bit. All right, so let's glue this down. You could do this with any type of colors and designer series paper that you have on hand. And what you want to do though is you definitely want to have like a big bold type stamp. So what I'm using is I'm using Biggest Wish. These have nice bold sentiments on here, and I really love that for this. This is perfect for it. All right, so that is down. And next I need from here, did I not cut that piece? I don't think I cut it. Oh, okay. I need the layer under the white, which is the, what size is this? So this piece here is 3 3/8 by 4 1/2. So we want this to be a little bit bigger. So we're going to go 4 5/8 by 3 1/2. So 4 5/8 by 3 1/2. And that will be for this layer here. Yes, okay, good. So let's do a little stamping. Now, in order to get this, the greeting in the right place, you'll want to add your designer series paper that measures 1 1/8 inch by 4 1/2 inches to the bottom. This way you know where you're going to stamp your greeting. Or if you don't want to do that because you're afraid you might mess up, you can always use a pencil mark where you're going to, where this piece will line up, and then you can erase it afterwards. All right, let me get my Stampin' Pierce mat because I'm using a photopolymer stamp. And my stamp, and I am using Lost Lagoon and Happy Birthday. This is going to be a card more for men, more of a masculine card. All right, so we're gonna stamp this down and look through. Line that up to, you know, as best you can. And just press. Perfect. Look at that. Good on the first try. All right, now we could glue this together. Again, you have a small border. Then I'll add this to the top here with dimensionals. Five would be good. put this in the center. And you can also change up the measurements if you like, depending on what size your greeting is. You know, size of your designer, you know, yeah, I guess the size of the greeting is the biggest one. I'm just going to add a little glue to the bottom here. This is for the strip that I have. Oops, let me cut this out. You know, we can trim it afterwards. Make sure that's on straight. Put a little on the bottom. Press it down, and then we can trim it with our snips. And we can add this to the inside, then we'll add some embellishments. Now for the month of July, I'm going to try my best to do mostly easy cards for, you know, focusing more on the beginner stamper, the stamper that maybe doesn't have a lot of product. With these, you won't need that much stuff. Add some, let's see, do we want to add the sparkly ones? I think I want to add these sparkle gems. And these are available in the annual catalog. I think we'll go with a black one, probably around here. Nice big one there. And then we'll do one down here, two smaller ones, and one up here. Yeah. And there you have it.
Quick and simple, very minimal supplies.
You can make these cards in just a few minutes. So folks, I hope you enjoyed those. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and I hope you give this a try. It is so easy. I mean, seriously, you can bang a bunch of these out in less than 20 minutes. You can probably get them done. So I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, please consider subscribing. I do share videos every Tuesday. And I also have been doing monthly fun folds. So if you want to know about those, you have to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time a video is uploaded. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your 4th of July. Until next time, bye-bye.